Yo, I came across this tweet, man, and the reason why I have to share this with you all outside of these ideas being super dope is just for the simple fact I was talking to my brother about this maybe 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I can't remember the exact timeline, but we were just talking about this, and I was expressing to him how I enjoyed Marathon and how he thought it was cool and the gunplay was cool, but he just felt like he wished there was more there, right? More meat on the bones. And I was in agreement. I was like, yo, Marathon's really going into this PvE stuff, which is great, but they can't leave the PvP stuff by the wayside. They can't, right? Well, I guess I wasn't the only cat thinking that way, right? So I seen this tweet by Marathon Game HQ. You know, they give credit to trainormal. I don't know if this is somebody on Twitter or Reddit, I have no idea, but they came up with these ideas, and literally I am in the utmost agreement with them. Like, actually, I felt like trainormal was in my brain, yo, right? So trainormal said, yo, look, we need new modes, and they came up with these graphics and stuff, and I'll reference the graphics, right? So you see here new modes: Extraction, which is what some we have, Retaliation, and then Attrition, right? So the Extraction modes, you have a standard one and then a sponsor one, right? Free, meaning free to play. So if you download Marathon in a free to play sense, you could just jump right into the sponsor joint. Now, this is all on his own volition right here. I didn't think about this, but I'm like, hey, that's not a bad idea, right? You got your standard Extraction, you know, where you go in with your fully customized kit, max risk, max reward, trio, duo, solo, squad playlist, all that good stuff. And then you got your sponsor mode, right? Probably would rotate every week or every other day with perimeter, dire Martian outpost. It's almost like a battle royale light, fewer squads per map, standard sponsor kits only, right? And I can vibe with that. I think a lot of people enjoy the sponsor kit playlist or the sponsored kit mode much more than maybe even Bungie realizes. Like, I vibe with it a lot, especially on a regain. Now, it did kind of make Rook feel a little bit obsolete, but still, like, I rocked with it big time, man. It was fun to just kind of go in and kind of unplug a little bit. And if you lost, it was low stakes. It was like, oh, well, who cares? But if you got a good haul, it like the run automatically became like, yo, all right, we need to lock in and get up out of here. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed that. So I would not be opposed to this whatsoever, right? On this next image, trainormal talks about the PvE modes, the quote-unquote retaliation modes, right? The survival mode they deemed as free, safe cracker mode, and then disruption. So for survival, it's the free-to-play mode, the free-to-play PvE mode. You get 15 minutes to loot, survive the final exfil, guaranteed map events, right? And the maps will probably rotate between perimeter, dire Martian outposts, right? I think that could be cool just so people can experience the gunplay, understand enemy types, and just kind of feel things out. Yeah, cool. If this is what they offer from a free-to-play sense, I think that's great. It kind of takes out the barrier to entry a little bit and let people experience. It's almost like a live demo per se, you know? People might rock with it, or people might be like, no, this is enough. I don't want anything to do with it. I ain't gonna spend the $40. All good either way, but at least it lets people try it for themselves. I think one of the big issues with Marathon is there are a lot of people out there, not everybody. There are people that tried it and refunded it and all that and just didn't like it. All good. But there are a lot of people out there that talk smack, but never even booted Marathon up once. This will give them the opportunity to eat their words. You know what I'm saying? Another game mode, Safe Cracker. This takes place on Cryo Archive, Outpost, Marsh, and then Perimeter. Start with a deluxe key, attack heavily guarded key room, exfil, or progressive superior and or prestige rooms, escalating enemy threats. So this is just Vault Breaker. They just renamed it Safe Cracker, which is cool because, and I just made a video like literally 10 minutes ago, or I recorded a video about 10 minutes ago talking about Vault Breaker and how much I actually enjoyed it. And I enjoyed that gameplay loop much more than I thought I would. Like, I was really surprised. I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed that. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, something like this could exist, and that's cool. And then we got Disruption. Complete 3 lockdowns to spawn Warden, race against other squad, deposit search to sabotage enemy squad, first squad to defeat Warden, and exfil wins. This is Gambit from Destiny. This is Gambit from Destiny, if we're being totally honest, but it could exist in the Marathon world, in the Marathon space, right? They can frame it however they see fit, whether if it's with lockdowns or if it's another event like the Intercept. Either way, it can be a race, and it could be a race against another squad or maybe 2 other squads, right? And they could put some lore behind it, right? Maybe the squads are racing to get some hidden artifact or some ancient artifact so that they can bring it back to Traxxas or something like that, right? They can lore it up however they see fit, but something like this could be dope. like super dope to experiment with, right? And when you deposit certs, it would alert the UESC on the other squad, so they spawn more commanders or something. Like, I don't know, but like, you can be really creative here, and you can reuse a lot of the assets to create these modes, right? So all three of these modes, hitters. I'm with it. The more PvE options we have, the better, right? And the more ways we have to be able to explore the extraction modes, I think the better as well. You know, Sponsored is going to be really, really good, or would be really, really good for people that are just afraid to lose the good stuff. And guess what? There are people out there that will hoard good stuff all the way up until the wipe and never use it. And if that's how they want to play, that's their prerogative, cool. We should be able to empower that play style. You know what I'm saying? So again, Sponsor free to play, I'm with. The survival free to play, I'm with as well. Disruption, aka Gambit, I'm with. Safecracker, aka Vault Breaker, I'm with as well, right? We talk about the PvP modes. Now, this is what I was talking to my brother about a few weeks ago. Again, this is where personally, in my humble opinion, I felt like Bungie should have threw darts at first before the PvE mode, right? And the reason why I say that is because I look at a game like Apex Legends. Apex Legends never really bent on bringing PvE into their game. They had a few seasons where they were doing some narrative stuff with PvE, but it was really, really light. Mostly what they did was they doubled down on the PvP and brought in more modes, right? They brought in Wildcard, which is like a respawn variation of the Battle Royale mode with weapons that you get that are already kitted, and you can just focus on fighting and having fun there. They have the mixtape playlist, which alternates between Gun Run, which is like you kill somebody and get a new weapon, Team Deathmatch that they control, which is almost like a big map domination, right? So they leaned more into that, which is great, which is cool, right? Bungie didn't do that, but it's all good. I think Bungie cannot leave the PvP side of things alone though, right? They're leaning into the PvE stuff. What's going on? Oh, my wife must be home. My dog just started barking and going crazy, right? Where was I at? Oh yeah. So again, Bungie leaned more on the PvE stuff right now, and that's all good, that's all cool, but again, they can't neglect this right here. They can't neglect this whatsoever. So again, the homie Train said the attrition modes like arena and tournament, right? For tournament, this can take place on perimeter, dire Martian outpost, squad versus squad round at every POI. Winner moves to the next POI to face another squad. Final squads face off at central POI. So like they gave an example down here too, like, you know, some matches start at Complex and then go to AI Uplink, and then the final battles at Algae Ponds. This is super dope. I never even thought about something like this coming into the mix, right? This could almost be like a almost like a spin on like a S&D, like a search and destroy mode, right? 3v3 skirmish. There has to be an objective here, or else people are just going to sit back and just kind of camp. Like Apex Legends had this issue with their arenas game mode. I always felt like there needed to be an objective to get people to move, right, in some capacity, versus just sitting back and just looking and just waiting, and they'll wait until time expires. You know what I'm saying, right? Maybe there's, you know, some type of ring or circle that pushes them to fight, whatever the case may be. I can get behind something like this wholeheartedly though, wholeheartedly. I think tournament would be super dope, and I think this is a creative idea. So Train, shout out to you for even like brainstorming this, yo. And then arena is more of what I was leaning on, right? Squad versus squad matches at a single POI, loot containers for gear or ammo. Maybe you can open up a container to get a special weapon, kind of like reminiscent of the Halo days where you can get a rocket launcher or something like that. The equivalent might be the biotoxic disinjector, or like you might be able to get a circuit breaker or something like that, you know. They would have deathmatch, which is like Slayer, zone control, like a domination or conquest, containment, which would be like King of the Hill, plunder, which is a neutral capture the flag, retention, which is like oddball but with the anomaly. That's pretty cool. Sabotage, which is like search and destroy, plant the bomb, crisis, which is like infection but with rooks, and then escalation, which is like gun game. Again, I would take all of this, yo. I would take all of this, man, because again, when it's all said and done, and I can't remember if I mentioned it in this ramble yet or not, but I know I mentioned it in another video of mine, the extraction game mode can be the premier product. That's fine. That is a-okay if you want that to be the mode that's on the pedestal, for lack of a better term. But one thing we're learning about extraction games is that they cannot launch with that being the lone thing, the lone game mode, right? when they're the lone, or excuse me, when they are the lone game mode, like player burnout happens at a high rate. Because think about it like this: imagine you jump in, you do 10 runs, you successfully execute on your first one, on your second one, and then the next 8 runs, they're just terrible. They're just good and terrible. You know, you're gonna want to turn that game off and not think twice about it, man. Like, you don't have anywhere to go to lick your wounds, right? If this is the case here, let's say I approach this with, I approach this with the same 10-run philosophy, and I get whooped on my last 8 runs. Guess what? I'm a little pissed off, but I still want a PvP. Man, I'm gonna go to arena and I'm gonna get active in some deathmatch or something like that, right? Where I can select a pre-made loadout, or I can make my own loadout, and I'm gonna get active, right? Or I'm gonna go to the PvE mode and I'm gonna do some safe cracker, right? And just kind of veg out and just kind of lick my wounds there. Maybe if I go do safe cracker, I can get some vault data, and I can go ahead and I can acquire some of the weapons that I went ahead and lost throughout the armory, and get back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's this healthy gameplay loop that begins to occur, you know, because in this arena game mode or in the tournament game mode, when you win, you can get a type of currency, and they can flesh out that system that they built for Vault Breaker, right? Imagine you play PvP all day, get a lot of this currency. Now you can go purchase some heals, or you can go purchase some type of key for cryo or for outpost, or some type of weaponry that you want to flex in the extraction mode, right? Or you might just want to put it up on your mantle in the vault and never touch it again. Either way, like, if that's what you want to do and that's your prerogative, you should be free to follow just that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really hoping and I'm praying that Bungie is understanding this. They're hitting PvE first, launching their PvE mode in season 3, which I think it will be, or I think that's fine. That's good. I'm on board with it. Once upon a time I wasn't, and then Vault Breaker dropped, and I found myself really enjoying Vault Breaker, especially when I just needed to pass some time, an hour here, an hour there. Vault Breaker was the thing that I found myself continuing to go back to without a lot of investment in terms of like mental energy. You know what I'm saying? I was able to veg out, get some vaults done, get some vault data, and be able to either upgrade my runner or be able to cop a few things if I wanted to cop a few things from the store, right? So Bungie's leaning into that here in season 3. Beautiful. I would say we should hear something somewhere at the midway point of season 3 about some of the PvP quote unquote attrition modes getting ready to launch. Maybe they demo some in season 3. Maybe they leave it all for season 4, and then when season 4 comes around, hey, yo, Bungie, we need to see some of these attrition modes. We need an arena with a team deathmatch, a domination, you know, hey, this tournament mode, bring that in the mix, right? Give us some give us something else outside of the extraction mode, so that way we can actually miss the extraction mode a little bit for some people that like extraction modes, right? Using myself as an example, my words are all jumbled up, but using myself as an example here, there may be a week where I don't even want to go touch the extraction mode because I'm just tired of just getting my teeth kicked in, yo. I may spend that week just enjoying the Bungie gunplay, enjoying the Bungie gameplay loop in the arena, or I might spend it doing Vault Breaker. Then guess what? What do they say? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So guess what? That following week, I forgot all about getting my butt kicked the week prior, and now I jump back into the traditional extraction mode like I never left, have a few good runs, and we good, right? Either way, I should be free to play a game like Marathon however I see fit, and I see these modes as a net positive versus a net negative. Now, people may say, oh, you're going to spread out the player base even more. Yeah, that may be the case initially, but at least you'll attract more players. There might be people right now that would pull the trigger on Marathon if they seen that they had dedicated PvP modes, or if they seen that there were dedicated PvE modes or PvE experiences that they could, you know, be able to experience, right? The game's $40. They may feel like the PvE is worth the $40, or the PvP exclusive modes are worth $40, but they do not feel like the extraction mode is worth the $40, and that's fair, to each his own, you know? So all in all, I'm glad I'm not the only person like thinking about this stuff. When I seen this, I was like, oh man, I gotta share this with the homies, man. I gotta share this with you all, because at first I thought I was a little bit crazy, but now I see I am not alone here. So with this all being said, let me know what you all think about this. Would you all be open to exploring other modes in Marathon, the PvE experiences like the homie Train mentioned, or even the PvP experiences? I would love to hear in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. I love you all. Thank you all so much for coming and watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.